What's up, PMCs? Today we're going to learn how to make money in Escape from Tarkov without going into a raid. Now, if you're new to the game, this video is definitely for you. If you've been playing for a while already and you run your hideout non-stop and you make money in it, you probably already know how to do this, because today we're discussing the most profitable crafts in each hideout module to make you some money. To do all that, I'm using Tarkov-Market.com, a great resource that I highly recommend to newer players to the game, or for those who like to min-max their hideout and make millions. Now you can access Tarkov-Market.com's features by supporting them on Patreon, and that costs $5 US per month or $7 Canadian per month, as you can see on my screen because I live up here in Canada. I'll make sure all these links are available in the description below. Let's start with one of the easiest places to make money in Tarkov. No, it's not a map, it's the Workbench module. Wires are consistently the most profitable item to craft in the hideout, without fail. You can often find power cords at less than 10K on the flea market. It's quick and easy money. Now, ammo used to be much more cost effective to craft in the past. Nowadays, you can't resell ammo you've crafted at the significant profit that you used to on the flea market. But if you are using a lot of a specific type of ammo, it is a small cost savings versus their price on the flea market to craft them and use them. For example, 9x39 SP6 ammo, or 9mm AP 6.3 ammo, or if you're a mutant enjoyer, 7.62x39 BP ammo. Unfortunately, the amount of time it takes to craft certain ammo types, such as, let's say, 5.56 M995 ammo, means that the fuel cost is really going to eat into your cost savings there. Same goes for 9mm PBP ammo, previously known as 7N31. So I don't recommend crafting those unless the price of those skyrockets on the flea. Moving to the water collector, given the low price of water filters right now, this is one of the most cost-effective modules in the hideout. Water filters are a massive buy for me right now. At below 40K, you can't beat that price. And whether you're immediately selling the super water or using it to craft moonshine or even aquamarine water bottles to use or sell in the flea market, the water collector is one of the most effective modules in your hideout. Make sure it's consistently running. Now let's pair that up with the boost generator. Before we do that, let's use Tarkov-Market.com to alter these values a little bit. So right now it says super water costs 79K on the flea market, but we didn't spend that on the super water. We crafted it for 25K because we got the water filter for so cheap. But let's say you didn't get the water filter so cheap. So let's say, it cost you 30,000 to craft this. All right, so we got that value in there. Let's move over to the boost generator. And crafting moonshine in here is one of the best things you can do in your hideout, especially if you are crafting the super water already. Not only is it profitable to resell in the flea market, but you can also turn the moonshine into a thick items case, and that is currently the most cost-effective thick items case trade available. As you can see, it is much more profitable than the LEDX trade due to the fact that LEDXs have skyrocketed in price. So if you are getting a thick items case, make sure you craft your moonshine and do the boost trade. You can also pair the water collector with the nutrition unit. In the nutrition unit, you should consider using super water to craft aquamarine water bottles or hot rods. If you aren't crafting moonshine, that is, in the boost generator. If you are, I'd stick with that. Although there isn't much else here that is cost effective to craft, if you are on a quest that requires scab vests, consider crafting Slicker's bars and then trading them to Jaeger for scab vests. BSG eliminated the ability to purchase scab vests from traders a while ago, and as a result, scab vests have cost significantly more on the flea market than they have in the past. So using a Slicker's bar to trade for a scab vest makes those quests a lot more harmful to your ruble count. Meanwhile, in the lavatory, make sure you make the most of your expeditionary fuel tanks after you've used them in your hideout. you can turn them into mag cases and resell those at a decent profit. And if you've got enough of those, you can craft 2 mags cases and then turn them into a Lucky Scab junk box. Speaking of fuel, you can use empty metal fuel tanks to craft grenades cases as well. Smaller items in the lavatory that are consistently profitable are bleach, shampoo, and Cordura. Now you can go ahead and turn that Cordura into AACPC rigs or even slick armors, although the slick armor trade isn't as cost effective as it once was, now that slicks aren't as expensive as they were. And you can use the shampoo to trade to Ragman for a TV110 rig along with that bleach. Or you can trade the shampoo to Therapist for ETGC stamps. Now going to the Medstation. Unfortunately, right now, if you're factoring in the fuel costs, there isn't much money to be made here. But occasionally, meds and SJ6s will make you a little bit of cash. Now, it's great too if you're going to be using these SJ6s or if you're going to be turning these meds into SJ6s. But you got to really watch the prices on the inputs here because they do tend to fluctuate quite a bit, specifically SJ1s and the saline solution for the SJ6s and the augmented for the meds. Make sure you watch those prices. And if you do need a find and raid defibrillator, crafting it is a good way to go. They are hard to find in raid, and you can't craft it for actually less than the flea market price, although you wouldn't be buying it off the flea anyways for the quest. The last hideout module is the Intelligence Center. And sadly, unless you need one of these for a find and raid quest item, like VPXs, RFID readers, Vertexes, SGC-10s, I don't recommend running the Intelligence Center. The amount of time each item takes to craft means the fuel costs really eat into your cost savings significantly. We can't discuss the hideout without talking about the Bitcoin farm. If you progressed in the game far enough, you'll have found enough graphics cards to get your Bitcoin farm started. Hopefully you found the necessary inputs to get the level 1 and level 2 going as well for a Bitcoin farm. However, if you aren't finding these graphics cards in raid, I do not recommend going on a spending spree here to purchase them off the flea market. And that's because the price at nearly 900K right now is 3 times the price of Bitcoin in game. Probably because they have been a little bit more rare for people to find since the start of September, when Battlestate Games implemented dynamic loot. And you'll see a large spike here at the start of September. Prices on GPUs had held strong about 2 times the amount of Bitcoin for quite a while. So it being now 3 times the price of Bitcoin is going to eat into your costs and make it a little bit longer for you to start making some money before you pay off what you put in. If you do manage to get to a point where you have 10 GPUs in your Bitcoin farm, it's going to take you about 29 hours to make 1 Bitcoin. So that's approximately 300K every 29 hours, not taking into account fuel, of course. Now, if you manage to get up to level 2 and max that out, you're making 1 Bitcoin every 20 hours. It's pretty good. It means every day when you log in, you're going to get yourself Bitcoin. Now, one thing I do not recommend doing at the moment is going up to level 3. But I'll show you how much that'll make. So every 13 hours at level 3 maxed out 50 GPUs, you're going to make a Bitcoin every 13 hours. That's nearly 2 per day. The issue here is you need to upgrade to solar power to get there. And I'll quickly go over and show you what that's going to cost you. Solar power takes 72 hours to construct, costs 10 military cables, 10 filters, and 4 phase array elements. But the real issue here is that it costs 75,000 euros. So the total cost of this module is nearly 14 million rubles in total. You'll be paying that off for quite some time. Now, what's great here is it does knock off 50% of your fuel consumption. And if there is another Tarkov event like we had last wipe, where they practically eliminated fuel spawns from the game, this is a crucial hideout module to have. But if they don't, you may have wasted 14 million rubles. So I'll leave this up to you, whether or not you think the wipe will be long enough for this to be worth it, because it'll be paying off solar power for a couple months probably, depending on how many GPUs you got in there. But regardless, I do recommend getting yourself up to a level 2 Bitcoin farm with 25 GPUs. That's great passive income, especially if you're the kind of person who plays a little bit every day. I really recommend level 2 Bitcoin farm. Before we leave, one bonus barter I'll throw your way before we go is a Jaeger trade of 3 flash drives for 1 dog tags case. This is like printing money, and you can get it at Jaeger level 1. All right? You can do this once every reset. Go to the flea market, buy 3 flash drives for 60K a piece. All right? You're going to take those flash drives, trade them to Jaeger for 1 dog tags case. You're then going to turn around and sell this dog tags case to therapists for nearly 200,000 rubles. So you just made yourself a little bit of money for doing nothing. Flash drives have held strong at 60K the entire time this has been available. I don't see that changing unless BSG eliminates flash drive spawns from the game, which I think would be kind of a brutal thing to do, given how difficult they are to find for people early wipe as is. But this is a tidy profit. Highly recommend this. Again, get a dog's tags case from Jaeger, sell it straight to therapist. Easy money. That's all you need to know to make consistent money in Tarkov's Hideout. Remember, and this is as of September 20th, 2021, and these things are changing frequently, so I'll make follow-up videos when they do. Let me know in the comment section below or on Twitter at Tarkov Reporter what crafts you were running that we didn't discuss today. There are endless possibilities for turning crafts into barters, and I would love to know which of those that you use more often than not. Before we go, one last reminder to check Tarkov-Market.com so you can min-max the Tarkov economy to the best of your abilities. Go get that money. See you next time.